Welcome back guys, Devansh Agarwal here, and in this video we are going to talk about the real meaning of meditation. So many people meditate just for the heck of it without ever really understanding the real essence of meditation. This is why it is of paramount importance to clear the desk and actually understand what it really means. At some point in our times, we all must have gone through the question that whatever I'm doing is temporary, which may or may not exist tomorrow, so why are we doing what we're doing and how to enjoy the ride? See, it's not the things that are temporary which is the problem. It is not even the pleasures that don't last long. It is the attachment with those pleasures that becomes the actual problem. If you're eating a mango just to, enjoy its taste, it's all well and good. But if you start fantasizing about the taste of mango, or anything for that matter, and expect that it will remain all day long, is the real problem here. Let's understand what the real meaning of meditation actually means. Pay close attention to the moment any desires take over your mind and observe that these short-term pleasures can make you do whatever they want you to do, and you at times have absolutely no control over it whatsoever. Observing and acknowledging things like these is the real meditation. Seeing something is not the problem. It is the stories related to what we see that are conditioned by the society in our mind, which ultimately becomes the problem. Our eyes are naturally not just seeing things, they also at times project a whole another film that is superimposed on what we actually see, changing the complete dynamics of the situation. The good or the bad is all in the mind. Things that we perceive to be good might not be necessarily good for us. Similarly, things that we perceive to be bad might not be necessarily bad for us. So the good things and the bad things keep on changing depending on our conditioning. To escape is not the real meaning of meditation. We all need to understand that whenever we are in a state of pleasure, we forget everything and attain short-term peace. It can be, going on a drink with your friends on a Saturday night or watching your favorite star's movie. And when things go upside down, then we become all blue and gloomy. We ask questions like, why me? And start questioning God's plan, or even worse, we play the destination and fate card. Why don't we ask questions when we are in a state of joy? Why do we never acknowledge the infinite things that went right? Even in our dreams, when something pleasurable is going on, then we sleep like a baby. But as soon as the ghost kills us from nowhere, or your best friend steals away the love of your life, that's when we actually wake up. When we are in a state of bliss, then we are completely asleep in its pleasure. Our conscience wakes up only when something offbeat or something totally unanticipated happens. That's our basic tendency. We don't think this way normally. The guy who's in a state of bliss doesn't want to understand this because he is so distracted and mesmerized by the pleasure and want to elongate this feeling for as long as possible. And the guy in misery can't understand this even if he wants to. If you are in unbearable pain, you won't so much as read any of the stuff, let alone think about it. Or let me give you another analogy. When is the best time to swim, and where is the best place to learn to swim? In the middle of an ocean where you crashed from a plane or somewhere? or when you are in a complete safe environment, surrounded by trained swimmers who can help you learn better. That's the problem. Most people want to learn to swim when they are already on the verge of drowning. Got the difference? Yeah. Pain and pleasure. There is actually no difference between pain and pleasure. Yes, you heard that right. They just keep on chasing each other all their life. It's exactly like a dog running after its tail in circles. The best time to understand this philosophy is, of course, when you're happy. People say, "Oh, I just turned 30, I don't need to understand spirituality just yet. I would think about it when I retire and blah blah blah." That's not cool. This is your moment, guys, to increase your understanding right now, not when you are 70 struggling to manage the daily course of life. If you indulge in pleasures only till you retire, your mind is gonna become super dull. The pleasures that you're running after will become your biggest pain in the ass, and by the time you will understand this, it will be a tad too late. Have you ever noticed yourself whenever you are at the peak of your desire or pleasure, or the peak of your fear? Your very own conscience is out of your control during those particular moments. It overpowers you in such a way that you become mentally dead for some time. And these desires make you do whatever they want you to do. Indulging in those desires may give you a temporary positive sensation, but you won't even realize it when it becomes your worst habit, and then you won't be able to leave it all of a sudden because you are so addicted to it. All the bad habits like smoking, drinking, drugs, social media provide instant gratification, which is slowly eating you up from the inside. And before you notice it, it would be too late to recover. Understanding this is enlightenment. You might have heard people opting for engineering in a whole bunch of subjects. Well, this is also a kind of engineering, namely the human engineering, which should be enrolled by everyone. Even while meditating, people do all kinds of crazy stuff. Some keep on imagining all kinds of sounds and pictures. They completely go into la la land. That's again an illusion. That's not the real meaning of meditation. The thing that makes you happy while you are experiencing it, the very same thing will make you sullen when you stop doing those particular things. The same is the case with how most people meditate, where they feel good when they're experiencing it and then go back to normal when they stop doing it. The real meaning of meditation involves developing the grounds for a deeper understanding of life. To increase our understanding, we do need peace of mind. If your mind keeps on wandering here and there, then one can't develop a higher understanding of anything. Meditation is also not the end goal. The end goal is to increase your knowledge about your true self. People consider meditation as a way to escape reality, which is a really toxic trap. Once you calm yourself from meditation, then you need to search for how to make this possible in every aspect of your life, your health, your happiness, and prosperity. If you want to earn money, then how can you start making it using meditation? If you want to make your relationships better, then how to make them more lovable? To make yourself more positive, to control your urges, to be happier. Meditation is a mere detour to reach the end of your desired destination. seeing reality as it is and knowing what exists is the real meaning of meditation. To look at both sides of a coin is the real meaning of meditation. So now let's discuss about the two ways of meditating. One is active and the other is passive. Active meditation is when you're doing something or anything, then you should be paying your utmost attention towards it. If you're doing something and thinking about something else, then you're not in real meditation. Now tell me, what kind of work is there which cannot be labeled as meditation? Any work that you do with your blood, sweat and tear without any distractions of any kind is actually the real meaning of meditation. Active meditations can solve your day-to-day life problems. If you're a student, then paying attention to studies will make it easier. To fulfill the basic needs of your life and to attain a comfortable lifestyle, you can use this type of meditation. Now comes the passive meditation. The passive meditation, on the other hand, is attentively observing, not thinking or being lost in a whirlpool of thoughts, but just simply being. You don't have to do anything physically or mentally. One is doing, the other is knowing. Knowing what's happening around to you and inside you is the real meaning of meditation. Being conscious while doing anything is what meditation is all about. So now you must be thinking, if we can achieve and solve all our problems using active meditation alone, then why do we need passive meditation at all? Isn't just paying attention to your work enough? Well, the thing is, when you actively do your work using active meditation, you may get tired after a certain point, which is different from everyone. Now, this is where the passive meditation comes into the picture. Here, you don't have to do anything. Just noticing and perceiving you encompass. Observing your surrounding as a newborn baby would. Try seeing things without your memory, as if you're seeing them for the first time. Calmly and serenely sitting at a corner of the room and paying attention to each and every single detail of what's happening is called passive meditation. Peacefully watching the flow of your thoughts. This will energize you to the core if you start doing this even for just 5 minutes a day, which is not a big ask. If thoughts are coming, then let them come. You just have to watch how they come. You can focus on your breath and thoughts will automatically stop coming. Self-inquiry is the end goal of meditation. The biggest myth we all believe so dearly is that we are this body. So let's start from here only. What is there in your body that you can actually call yours? The body is made up of nature. If nature stops supporting our bodies, then we are done. So stop calling yourself that you are your body. You're not. This inquiry also involves understanding that without our senses, our body is nothing more than a piece of flesh and bones. In order to observe all this, you need to have a lot of energy and a ton of patience. You need to have dedication and a curiosity to know all this. What are the senses? How does one see things? What does one see? What happens when you see? How is all this transition happening? When you hear someone's voice, a name pops up based upon your memories, and as soon as the name appears, a whole story of that particular object or person frames in your mind. Now we don't see that particular object or person as who that really is, but based upon the story stored in our minds. Seeing things as it is, without any filter and having any bias, is called control over your senses. This process is endless. There isn't a point where you can say you finally understood everything there is to know about all the senses. The discoveries are infinite because everything is interconnected. The body and the senses are not separate entities. Once you rise above the senses, then comes feelings and emotions. What are emotions? What are the feelings that control you? You want to do something else, but these feelings and emotions sometimes have absolute control over you. Why? Are you a servant of these feelings and emotions? They make you do all kinds of wrong things. And when you do something which you know it's wrong, it further pushes you down because now the guilt engulfs you, which in turn further deteriorates your control over these feelings and emotions. And the cycle keeps on repeating itself. Emotions are nothing but energy in motion. You are energy yourself. You get into motion because of feelings caused by a thought, which ultimately makes you do whatever they want you to do automatically. Just imagine how peaceful of a mind you need to observe all this. And where will the kind of intelligence you need to solve this puzzle come from? The work you did by achieving health, happiness, and prosperity. That's what will make you intelligent. If a man can intelligently make his body healthy, then he can also start his own business or prosper in his company. He can then intelligently manage his relationships too. He can also handle his thinking, his point of view, his decision making once he develops this understanding. The person who can't even handle his health, chances are pretty low that he can handle his emotions or feelings. This is not the end, but actually just the beginning. Besides, when you do this out of curiosity, you would want to go dig and dig deeper and deeper. What can be more interesting than knowing the thing that actually controls us all? Which is more fascinating, knowing about a real self or running in the same race 7 billion people are running in? Choose wisely. That's it from my guys. I'll see you next week. Thank you.